Hello, my dear students. Welcome to the textual exercise of the chapter After 20 Years. In this module, you will understand what is a conjunction and you will understand coordinating conjunction and subordinating conjunction. First, let's see what a conjunction is. Now, a conjunction is a word which connects two words or clauses or sentences or phrases and shows the relation between them. They are used to avoid making the text seem like bullet points and to make the text flow. So, conjunction, you can understand that from the word itself. Junction. You have heard of junction. It's a place where two or three roads meet, connect together. That's called a junction. Similarly, when two or three sentences are connected, the connecting word is a conjunction. The conjunction connects two or more or one or more sentence, one or more clause, one or more phrases. So it connects these things. It shows a relation. It connects. It creates a relation between the first sentence and the second, the first clause and the second clause. It gives a connection. So it is a connecting word, conjunction, and it is used to avoid making the text seem like bullet points. See, when you don't connect, when you don't use a conjunction, the sentences would be small and it would be abrupt ending. The ending everywhere, if you keep a stop, it would not look good. When you're writing it, it will look like small points. It doesn't look like a descriptive paragraph. When you have to describe something, you have to use conjunction. Otherwise, it is like stopping each and everywhere. It would seem abrupt. And also, it is used to make the text flow. Means you will get a flow to talk. You'll get a flow to say the text. So when you use conjunction, it beautifies the language. If you repeat the same thing each and everywhere, it would make the language lose its beauty. So when you have to use beautiful language, use conjunctions, use all kinds of devices, parts of speech beautifully to create the language beautifully. Let's see these sentences. The children are laughing. These sentences have a single clause with only one finite verb each. Raki went to the cinema yesterday. See, it has also one verb. Raki went. Went is the verb here, and here are laughing is the verb. So, these two sentences have got only one finite verb. Such sentences are called simple sentences. These are simple sentences. Meena came late, but she was allowed to enter the theatre. You have to eat on time or you will be sick. The two clauses, these sentences have more than one clause. The two clauses are joined using coordinating conjunctions like and, but, or, yet, and so on. Such sentences are compound sentences. So, in case of compound sentences, we use coordinating conjunctions. Means they are two, these clauses, in case of coordinating conjunctions, two simple sentences are joined. The two simple sentences are joined using a coordinate conjunction. Now, when we look into the coordinating conjunctions in a more detailed manner, we'll understand what it is. Next, let's see. Sam had left before they reached the park. I could not go because I am unwell. She opened the door when the bell rang. These sentences have a main clause and a subordinate clause. These are subordinate clauses. These are main clause. This is a main clause and this is a subordinate clause. So, we use subordinating conjunctions like after, although, as, because, before, even though, if, since, that, though, until, when, where, whether, which, while, and so on. Such sentences are complex sentences. In case of complex sentences, we use subordinating conjunctions. Complex sentences are sentences which has got one main clause and a subordinate clause. So this main clause and many other subordinating clauses will be there, not only one. So a complex sentence must have one main clause and at least one subordinating clause, or it might have more subordinating clauses, but there should be one main clause and one subordinating clause. And in case of compound sentences, it will be two grammatically equal sentences, means both will be simple sentences. Two simple sentences will join together using a coordinating conjunction. Such sentences are called compound sentences. Now see, these are coordinating conjunctions: for, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. So you can learn the coordinating conjunctions by using a code. Fanboys. See, F, A, N, B, O, Y, S. Learn this beginning letters, fanboys. Learn the code, fanboys, so that you will remember. F for for, A for and, N for nor, B for but, O for or, Y for yet, and S for so. So remember the code word fanboys. Okay. Now let's see the example sentences. For, we listened eagerly for he brought news of our families. For he brought. See, this is combined using the word for. Two simple sentences are joined using the coordinating conjunction for. Similarly, she didn't speak to anyone and nobody spoke to her. Next, I don't expect children to be rude, nor do I expect to be disobedient. Next, they rushed to the hospital, but they were too late. I will go shopping or I will go camping. Kelly was a convicted criminal, yet many people admired him. I was feeling hungry, so I made myself a sandwich. So remember the code word fanboys and study what each letter stands for. Then you got coordinating conjunctions. So coordinating conjunctions, just remember fanboys. Now we have subordinating conjunctions. Subordinating conjunctions are used to join an independent and complete clause with a dependent clause that relies on the main clause for meaning and relevance. So these subordinating clauses will get meaning and relevance only when it is combined together with a main clause, with an independent clause. So the conjunctions that are used to combine a main clause and subordinating clauses are called subordinating conjunctions. Now let's see some of the subordinating conjunctions here. Once I have found somewhere to live, I'll send you my address. Okay, so this is the subordinating clause here. Once I have found somewhere to live, subordinating clause, and this is the subordinating conjunction. Once is the subordinating conjunction. Now next one, let's see. Since we have got a few minutes to wait for the train, let's have a cup of tea. So since we have got a few minutes to wait for the train is the subordinating clause there, and since is the subordinating conjunction there. And let's have a cup of tea is the main clause there. Now, so that I'm saving money so that I can buy a new car. I'm saving money is the main clause. So that I can buy a new car is the subordinating clause. And so that is the subordinating conjunction here. Then, my brother's older than you. So, than you is the subordinating clause here. My brother is older is the main clause there. Next, whether or not. It remains to be seen whether or not this idea can be put into practice. Which means that it remains to be seen is the main clause. Whether or not this idea can be put into practice is the subordinating clause. Unless. You can't get a job unless you have experience. Unless you have experience is the subordinating clause, and unless is the subordinating conjunction. Similarly, please read all these sentences and identify the subordinating clause and subordinating conjunctions from these sentences. Now see here it's given subordinating conjunctions comes before the dependent clause, but dependent clause itself can be placed either ahead and of or following the independent clause, which means that a subordinating clause must always begin with a subordinating conjunction. See, once I have found somewhere to live, that is the subordinating clause. It began with the subordinating conjunction. Understood? But see it is told here, so dependent clause itself can be placed either ahead or the following the independent clause. Now see, sometimes we can place these clause all together after this main clause. I'll send you my address once I have found somewhere to live. That's also correct. So you can place this clause here, but you can't place this you can take this away from here and place it here, but you can place this whole subordinating clause after the main clause. I will send you my address as the main clause. You can place the subordinating clause once I have found somewhere to live after this. Both are correct. But in some sentences it might not be correct, but you have to see the meaning and place it wherever you can. In this sentence both are correct. You can either place it in the subordinating clause before the main clause, or you can place it here also. Both are correct in this sentences, and some of the sentences it will be right. Okay. Now the listening text. Now I will read the listening text. You have to answer these questions in your textbook after listening to my reading. Good morning, listeners. Today is 11th September. Can you guess which writer's birth anniversary is celebrated today? We will give you a few clues. He is one of the greatest short story writers in English. He was born in Greensboro, North Carolina, and here is the biggest clue. His stories have remarkable twist endings. Yes, you have guessed it correctly. It is William Sidney Porter, or he is better known O. Henry. Most of you, I am sure, have read at least one of his stories. Today, in honor of his birthday, we will tell you briefly about this great writer. He was born on September 11, 1862. He lost his mother when he was just 3 years old and was raised by his grandmother and aunt. He left school when he was 15 years old and took up a number of jobs. He married Athol Estes in 1887. In 1896, when he was working for a humorous weekly called The Rolling Stories, he was accused of embezzlement. Although there has been much debate over his actual guilt, he was sentenced to 5 years in jail. While in prison, he began writing short stories to support his daughter, Margaret. His first published story was Whistling Dick's Christmas Stocking. He published it under the pseudonym Olivier Henry. He later changed from Olivier Henry to O. Henry. After serving 3 years, he was released for good behavior. His first collection of stories was Cabbages and Kings, which was published in 1904. The next collection, The 4 Million, which included well-known stories, The Gift of Maggie, The Skylight Room, and The Green Door. Most of O. Henry's stories are set in his own time and in New York City. They are usually woven around the lives of ordinary people and are known for their wit, characterization, and twist endings. He passed away on June 5, 1910, after a most prolific writing career. So from this, you have to find out the answers to these questions. If you are not able to find out it after listening once, repeat the audio and listen to it carefully and try answering. Now you have your TMLA. This is your TMLA. I have uploaded it as assignment in your classroom. Please write it in your notebook and upload a copy of that in Google Classroom. That's all for today. Thank you, my dear children. Take care. Bye-bye. Love you all.